Once a year, the local church hired Bobo and Charlie to help with the spring clean. Bobo always gave the same tasks to Charlie each year while he cleaned the exterior of the building. Charlie liked sweeping the car park. It wasn't too complicated, so he never got confused. On the morning of the clean, Bobo called to Charlie's house. When they got to the church, Bobo picked up the key from the priest and he opened up the back door of the church, and inside there was a little cleaning room where the buckets and the mops and the brooms and the chemicals were kept. He handed Charlie a large broom and he said, "Well, you know what to do, Charlie, so off you go. I'll start with the windows and the doors, and that will do us today." Charlie took the large broom and he put it between his legs and he rode it out the door as if it were a horse, over to the far end of the car park. Bobo looked and smiled as he watched Charlie's antics, and he shook his head. As he walked around, checking the windows and the doors of the church, he noticed there was a young boy sitting on the ground. He was crying softly. Bobo approached gently and sat down next to the boy. "What's wrong?" The boy shouted, "Everyone tells me what to do. Nobody listens." Bobo replied, "I'm listening." The Bobo looked up. Little boy looked and he wiped his eyes and he said, "I hate everyone. I arranged to meet a friend here today, and like always, he never came." Bobo sat for a minute, and he said, "I'm here, and I'll tell you something. I'm a friend." Bobo replied. And the little boy smiled, and he said, "Well, my name's Tom. My parents spiced me up and they kicked me out of home." Bobo said, "Between you and me, Tom, you're better off without them. The thing is, we don't get to choose our parents sometimes, and me, well, I've never even knew mine. I was left alone as an orphan child, and I grew up in an orphanage, but it made me a better person. It gave me something to fight for. I think maybe, you know what, Tom, you're the same, and I'll help you if you want." "Are you a priest here?" the boy asked. Bobo shook his head and he said, No, I'm not a priest. I'm just someone who helps the priest to do a clean-up once a year. Charlie, meet Tom. Tom's going through some hard things at the minute, so he'll be staying at the gym until things get sorted out." Charlie replied, "Hey Tom, Bobo, maybe Tom can help me clean up, like around the club, the gym, and stuff, you know." Bobo said, "Yeah, maybe you could, Charlie. Now, we better get finished cleaning up around here before lunch." Maybe, Bobo, we could see the priest and get some food from him. What do you think?" "Oh, maybe we could, Charlie. So we better get finished cleaning up here around the church and we'll go and have some lunch." "That's just what I was going to say, Bobo," said Charlie. They all worked together, sweeping and hosing and doing the windows. And then later in the afternoon, Bobo, Charlie and Tom had finished the work in the church grounds that had to be done. The priest paid them with some food and drink, and then the three of them left the church and made their way to the boxing club. Bobo opened up the door of the boxing club and invited Tom to go inside. And he said, "This will be your home for as long as you want to stay there." Tom replied, "Oh, thanks for let me stay." He could hardly hold his emotions in, and Charlie patted him on the back. Oh, you'll be all right, Tom. Just stick with me. I'll be able to help you too. Tom sort of wiped the tears away and smiled. Bobo sat them down, the both of them, with some of the food and the drink that the priest had given them. And the three of them sat and they ate the lunch, and afterwards Bobo had said, well, now, I think what you want to do here, if you want my advice, see that boxing ring over there? Well, on the other side of that boxing ring, there's a punching bag, a heavy-duty, large punching bag hanging from the ceiling. I wanna just invite you to go there, put a pair of gloves on, and take your anger out on that punching bag, and get rid of any feelings that you might have. So Tom did. He was asked. He got up and he went and he put a pair of gloves on and he made his way over to the punching bag. And Bobo sat there watching as Tom started to punch, snapping left, right into the punching bag. Bobo was impressed with what he saw. And he sauntered over towards Tom and he said, you know what? I think, Tom, if you want my advice, you've got what it takes to be a good boxer. Tom laughed and he replied, I'm not a boxer. No, I'm not a boxer. Just taking my frustrations out like. Well, I've seen a few boxers in my time, believe you me. And you know what? I know from experience, Tom, some people in life have got something to fight for. And I think that you're one of those. Tom walked over and he looked into Bobo's eyes and he said, I tell you, I'm willing to give it a go, Bobo. Just show me how to be a boxer. Bobo replied, oh, you see, Tom, you've got an edge. You've got it, I can see it. If you want something, ask yourself, how bad do I want it? If you're cutting it thin, then cut it thinner. If you're hungry to win, starve yourself until the only thing you can taste is success and victory. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna start throwing some punches. I'll show you the ropes, Tom. And when you're ready, you'll be stepping into the ring because you're gonna make it. You're gonna make a name for yourself. I can see it in your eyes. Tom replied, thanks for believing in me, Bobo. You give me something to fight for. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, Tom. Come on, Charlie. Tom needs some peace and quiet now before the night comes. They both left the boxing club, leaving Tom to rest. Bobo intentionally staged a large event because he wanted to show off this new talent. He entered Tom into the first fight of the evening with an up-and-coming champion boxer who was undefeated in all of his 7 fights. Because Bobo had a reputation around town, those in the know were intrigued with the opening fight. On the big night, the big clubs came with sponsors and attracted a few of the sports media along with them. Tom entered the ring, a virtual unknown, but within 15 seconds he had knocked out the up-and-coming champion. Suddenly Tom was now the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to know who he was and where he came from. And Bobo was very, very emphasized when he spoke about this new champion of his. And there was people now wanting to sign up Tom into contracts. The evening went on with Bobo's guidance. Tom had signed a major contract with a huge promoter, and his future was looking very good. Bobo knew that Tom was headed for stardom, and he was happy now just to sit back and watch the wheels go around.
The end.